Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers.
Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
And Jacob Wile, too.
and welcome to the Main Street Cinema, the show where we discuss the finer points of Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Oh my
Star
god.
Wars.
Star Wars.
Oh,
So Star Wars.
Hey, Tiki. So you
What?
like Star Wars?
So you like Star Wars? All right.
Star Wars.
All right. Oh boy, guys. So yes, that's right. Of course, we, like everyone else on the internet, are about to break down the Last Jedi trailer number 2. Hopefully the last trailer for the Last Jedi. I don't think I'll watch another one, even if another one gets released. But like, for example, how many Justice League trailers are we up to at this point? Like 4?
If you count the Comic-Con stuff, it gets a little...
Like, the new Heroes one came out, and I was like, nope, not touching it.
I don't know, it's 3 or 4. It's probably...
I mean, I'm not even, like, really looking all that forward to Justice League. I just feel like there's an abundance of footage at this point. So I guess in that way, I kind of respect that The Last Jedi is definitely, like, kind of playing it slow. Like, it's a slow burn with the marketing. But,
yeah.
Boy, oh boy, man, oh man, did this pay off, guys.
I'll tell you what, it was hard to get tickets for this thing. I mean, well, not necessarily hard, but I mean, well, let me explain my situation in this. It's like the entire, like, I worked late the day they went on sale, and I was like, I'm gonna miss it. And then it turns out when I got home refreshed, they still hadn't got on sale yet. So I was like, yes, I still have time.
Should I, like, be buying my tickets now?
So for like more than half an hour, I kept refreshing the page.
I don't even think my theater is selling tickets anytime soon.
Like, I kept refreshing the page over and over, like, and then, like, suddenly it's like, okay, just one more time. Then suddenly they went on sale. I was like, yes, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
You know what they should do?
For that showtime, I was actually the first person to buy tickets, it seemed.
Oh, nice, nice.
I'll tell you what they should do for, like, the last trailer, actually. Just they should have Mark Hamill's appear on screen and just basically pull the Jedi mind trick to the camera. It's like, you will buy tickets in advance. You will buy tickets in advance.
I actually didn't see the trailer yet. I just bought them.
Nice, nice.
I just bought them before because, you like Star Wars?
You like Star Wars? I gotta tell you guys, I was not the biggest Force Awakens fan, and I think that Rogue One kind of suffers from, like, the Phantom Menace syndrome of, like, it was kind of, like, super hype, but then when you go back and rewatch it, it's not really all that great. But Rian Johnson, I mean, I have always been a film fan who's all about the director, you know what I mean? Like a film can live and die by its director. I've never been a huge J.J. Abrams fan. I mean, he's done, like, I think his work looks good. I think his work has a good pace to it. I just don't think his work is all that deep. And Force Awakens really isn't all that deep. This looks like a different story entirely. So, guys, I was actually at Knott's Berry Farm with Mandy Reef when this trailer dropped, believe it or not. And we had just gotten off of the Camp Snoopy, like, Peanuts train ride, which was adorable, by the way. It had, like, a bunch of, like, Peanuts dioramas where they're all, like, dressed up for Halloween. And Mandy Roof was like, oh, God, the trailer's out. And I was like, oh, sweet. So we went over to the area where they do the little Snoopy show, like, off in the corner. And we were, like, watching it on Mandy Reef's cell phone. Like, we were getting, like, we couldn't even, like, hear the dialogue all the way. I heard Mark Hamill say something about, like, it didn't scare me then, it scares me now. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know the context of that, but that sounds awesome. And then, of course, going back, watching it over and over and over again, as always. I mean, God, this trailer, man, I mean, I don't know, Like I said, I'm not the biggest Force Awakens fan, but I think a film lives and dies by its director. Everything we've heard about this movie is that Rian Johnson just put his personal stamp all over this thing. And, yeah, the hype is real for me. I mean, Force Awakens was a cultural event, of course, so, like, it's not going to be quite as electric as that in terms of the hype. Like, it's not, I doubt it's going to be like a raw, like, oh my God, we're about to see the Beatles meets Elvis, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be that level of hype. But I think for me as a film fan, just as a pure fan of cinema, I think I'm looking even more forward to this than I was for Force Awakens. Like I said, Force Awakens, I was more looking forward to it as a cultural event. This, I'm just looking forward to it as a piece of cinema. Because everything about this movie looks freaking gorgeous.
I guess that means Rogue One was Elvis meets Nixon in terms of kind of
sure.
It's like, you know, you look, it's like it's hard to believe, but you see, and then again, like it gets to that ending, that third act, like, oh my god, this is
right,
awesome.
yeah. That's a good way to put it. All right, so I assume that you guys weren't anywhere nearly as interesting as I was when this trailer first dropped. Not to brag.
Jacob?
Like I said, I was just watching it at home on my phone.
I had some expectation. I wasn't following it religiously because, you know, it was just kind of like, you know, I don't need to be sold in this movie anymore. I got the C. Mark Hamill trailer. He had that great line in the first trailer, you know, the whole "It's time for the Jedi to end." That's all I need. I'm sold. I don't need to see anything. Anything we get in between here that doesn't spoil the movie is icing on the cake for me. So basically, I heard that it was going to drop, and I was looking forward to. Honestly, I was looking forward to the reaction as well because I know Kevin Smith loves to talk about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I was just really. Basically, I'm kind of tuned into it once like it's announced that it was going to drop today. Like, well, not today, but, you know, it was going to drop when it dropped. And I was like, it was just like following the news, like, okay, when's it going to drop? Why are they timing it so? Why can't they just have it drop without all this anticipation about when it's going to drop? But oh boy, when it drops, like the first inkling I got, like, I was, you know, watching some other stuff. I think he dropped on Monday, so I was probably watching my Monday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, okay, like on the Yahoo, like refresh the page, I guess, just, you know, casually, and this, okay, it's ready, okay. Checked it out, and blown away. It's pretty good.
Jacob?
I mean, I pretty much went over my whole anticipation of this movie already.
But I mean, what was your first reaction to the trailer?
Holy crap!
All right, that about sums it up.
I mean, I can't really say anything else beyond what you guys said. It was like I really did like Force Awakens, and I really disagree with what you said about J.J. Abrams, but that's an entirely different story.
Yeah, let's not even go there.
Yeah, like we could probably, I would tag team with Jacob and we probably want to take. We don't have the time.
Yes, because I remember.
I love. To be fair, I love Lost, and neither of you guys love Lost. So, all right, there are some J.J. Abrams things I like.
I like Lost.
Oh, I didn't know that, Jacob. You've never talked about Lost. I know Dragon doesn't like Lost.
Look, I have no desire to land on the. I have one on my island. Show is Arrow. Okay, I don't have room for another island in my life.
Oh, Lost blows Arrow out of the water. I'm
not doubting that. I'm not doubting it. I don't have room.
I like Fringe. I also like Super 8 and all the.
That's the thing, Jacob. I like Super 8. Like, Super 8's good. I don't think it's great. I don't think it really sticks to landing in the third act.
I hate to interrupt, but this isn't Star Wars. Can we please talk about Star Wars?
I know that's what I was trying to deviate there.
Please talk about Star Wars.
I need my Mark Hamill. Come on.
I mean, that's why I was trying to deviate from this, but like I said, honestly, I mean, it's Star Wars. I'm excited for it from the get-go, and like Drake Dragon said, look, time for the Jedi to end only cinched the deal even further for this one. And
like for me, that's kind of the equivalent to what I had in the first, Force Awakens. With I've always kind of described like that 20-second marker, like that 20 seconds of da 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 da. When we see Phasma at the end of that second trailer, when we reveal Han Solo at the end. Like just that's like the anticipation for Star Wars coming back after all those years. In this case, is like the return of Luke, and just kind of like that's kind of what this one has going for, where the other one had a whole other thing going for it.
But you can basically say this trailer only cinched it even more. Like I was excited for it. I was excited just to watch the trail. Like I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm totally seeing this. I said I already bought the tickets, but I'm already still seeing this no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, guys, so without further ado, let's go into the trailer shot by shot, shall we?
Right.
Okay, so of course we start with this far-off shot of Kylo Ren. What do you guys think of the opening Snoke narration? Like, I love the cadence in his voice, like how powerful he is. I don't even remember the line. Like, I sensed a great power in you, a great potential.
Yeah, when I saw raw, untamed power.
Mm-hmm. When I first heard him speak, I thought he said, "I sensed war." I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, it almost sounds like he's saying war. Sounds like he's saying war.
You mean like the opening word of the Revenge of Revenge of the Sith title crawl. War! Exclamation point.
I guess. I mean, that's like, I sensed war. I mean, that's what I thought. So I was like, I had to rewatch. Like, and it's like raw. So yeah, but still, I just. And then the cut of the interesting cut of that scene made me think of something. Maybe he's talking about Rey in that one as well.
Oh yeah, I think it's possible that he's talking about Rey.
Well, hold on a second. Okay, let's just unpack a few things here. Okay. So one, I'm pretty sure he's talking the cut, not just because of what we're seeing, but he says when I found you, I saw raw, untamed power, and I saw something true special. I don't know. I think you can only say that with familiarity to Kylo, and it basically is like him in the position we left off on Force Awakens, where he's going to be basically in the position of having to reteach Kylo. Maybe what I inferred from this is that he's might give up on Kylo, or at the very least, he's going to say, "You need to prove yourself, man. You just get your butt handed to you."
I definitely think we're going in a direction where he's going to want to recruit Rey. It's going to very much be like a Vader Luke situation,
especially evidenced by what Luke says to Rey later.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there, Jacob.
I do like that we're building the presence of Snoke, because I think the biggest fear this new trilogy would have going for is that Snoke is just he's like an afterthought. Because again, we're focused on the main guys, and we built up Snoke in the first movie, like one scene. But again, Snoke could seem like, okay, he's an Emperor knockoff. So I like that we're building presence with Snoke. That's very important.
Of course.
I mean, he had the first line in the Force Awakens trailer, and he's basically been there like mysterious ever since.
Yeah.
So. So I love how many moving parts are on these AT-ATs.
I love the new designs of these upgraded AT-ATs. Basically, this is the First Order's version of the AT-AT. And what I love about I love the gorilla-like design. Look at like kind of the feet in this case. Very much like gorilla knuckles. And that to me is just really cool. And it's like kind of a logical upgrade. And honestly, I think there are more joints on these things, so it looks like they actually might be. And look at these mountains on the horizon. I think they're going to be able to climb those mountains.
Oh God. Oh God!
Right? So think about it. If they have all these joints and they're kind of grabby at the bottom, and you would imagine
right.
I mean, it seems like the First Order is like going out of the way to outclass the Empire in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, we still don't exactly know what the difference is between the First Order and the Empire.
Well, again, if you look at it just from that aesthetic point, it's like we're doing the Empire better. And even look at just what he's trying to do with Kylo Ren here. I'm going to have a more controlled Darth Vader's not going to throw me over a Death Star this time. I'm going to have him like under my thumb.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I am loving the look of this planet with like the red crystals everywhere or whatever the hell they are.
Well, it might be.
I wonder if it's the Kyber crystals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could be. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, by the way, I just want on the whole all of this trailer, these shots are so well composed, and what's so great, they also have great contrast, as we're going to see in a scene later on with momentarily with Kylo Ren.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about with Rian Johnson. I mean, this dude is just he's on fire when it comes to visual storytelling. And look, that's not to say The Force Awakens wasn't visually spectacular. Don't get me wrong, it was. Like, I will say, as good as all of these shots are, there's no shot that in this trailer that impressed me more than the opening shot of the second Force Awakens trailer, which is Rey like going across the landscape, and then like the impact of seeing the crashed Star Destroyer. Like, I still remember the first time I saw that crashed Star Destroyer, I was like, "Oh shit!" You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
And you know what's I'll tell you what's kind of cool though is like the first Rian Johnson trailer. You have it's all about reveals. We have kind of the classic Rian Johnson thing of like kind of like your sort of Breaking Bad. Like, hey, look at something from one angle, then you turn slightly, and it looks like space, but no, it's rock. Yeah. And that first trailer is all about reveals, and here this is all about kind of its contrast between Rey and Kylo.
Sure, definitely, absolutely. Storytelling wise, for sure.
I think coming as one of my favorites. Oh yeah, this is my favorite contrast, though. I love the red in this. The red in this scene looks so beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like blood red.
I know. Oh god, it works well. And of course, we go from that red to the blue. That's like a closed, confined red space. And now we have like it's outside. It's beautiful and blue lightsaber, blue sky. It's like, oh man, it's all. She's in white, he's in black. It's beautiful contrast, man. It's visual poetry, darn it.
It was like this particular scene that made me think that he was referring to Rey at a certain point.
Yeah.
In the immortal words of George Lucas, It's like poetry. It rhymes. All right.
Franchise it.
Franchise.
So
Okay.
it would seem that Rey is on a path of self-discovery. It's kind of what we see here. Essentially, I'm not the first guy to say this. I think it's kind of obvious. I'm applauding. Is that it seems that Rey is going on Luke's arc in Empire. She is separated from the rest of the action. She is she's being taught, and of course, something's going to go south, and then she'll be kind of involved in the main conflict on a still in that divided level. She's not going to interact with her friends in this movie. I expect her just to be in the world of Snoke, Kylo, and
well, my prediction is I'm pretty sure it's going to be like an Empire situation where they'll probably all meet up by the third act,
or by the very end.
Like I think this movie might be all about like all the various characters on different paths, but then coming together like towards the end for the final chapter, or at least like not the final chapter. I'm sure there'll be more episodes after this, but you know what I mean, the closing chapter of the trilogy.
Yeah, but it's kind of neat. Kylo is on a. Kylo is figuring himself out, as is Rey in this trailer. Kylo's like looking at what next. How do I commit to my path? Where Rey is like, how do I discover my path? Wait, what path am I on? She's asking questions. He's just kind of looking for, not conviction, but he's looking for clarity, I guess.
Sure.
Basically, Kylo's wanting to kill the past.
Well, sure.
And this is the closing shot of Force Awakens, right?
I love that we pick up on that right there. I was like so on the edge of my seat. Oh, what's his first line going to be? We don't know yet, but still.
Oh, and his first line. We'll get to his first line.
Well, guy, I like that we still know the answer in that scene, though. I mean, I can't wait to find out what that first line is in that movie.
His first line is like, after 30 years, I can finally speak.
Yeah, the hand that came with us.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So this is
We saw this. We saw this in the first trailer. We still have no idea exactly what this is.
Well, no. We know there's like some sort of documents that's. Honestly, this location looks like where the kyber crystals are kept. To be honest with you, well, the potential, whatever that the location really on it, but with all the kind of swirliness of it all here. But regardless, whatever it is, we know that those books that are on that shelf there, it's a really nice shelf. That's kind of what it looks like. But that light is going to a little Jedi symbol, and then we saw a gloved hand kind of go up against the kind of the symbol of the Jedi Council. Like a little symbol. And now we know Rey's glove is that glove.
Okay.
Is this supposed to be Is this still supposed to be Octo?
I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
It's unclear.
Like it could be Dagobah.
Well, yeah, it is kind of tree-like. I don't know. I still think. I think it's going to be on. I think she's going to be on the Skelling Island for this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, for at least a large majority of it, I think she's still in Skelling for this.
We'll see. I like how we don't know, though. I like how the trailer doesn't spell it out. All right.
Mystery.
Oh, God. Okay. This is probably my favorite shot of the first trailer right here, the Karate Kid shot.
Skellig Michael looks beautiful as always.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and here we go.
Look at freeze that reaction right there.
Look at that face. Look at that. Hamill is just acting the crap out of this, man. Everything you need to know about the performance is in this face.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to.
He looks scared shitless.
I know. It just now. Okay, first, I'm sorry. There's a lot to unpack. I'm geeking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So what we saw there, interestingly, when Rey kind of stopped there, and then of course the crack happened. Of course, we have Luke's amazing reaction to sell it here. But it seems to me what's been communicated is, Rey's power is, we're seeing it demonstrated through her sheer control of the Force, but also the sheer power that she commands of the Force. So that crack in the foundation, which is of course signaling to Luke that, oh no, I've seen this before. And of course, we have the wonderful line. Basically, Luke steals the trailer here with this line.
Oh, he absolutely does. This is the moment of the trailer for me.
I've seen this raw strength once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now. Oh, God,
that is like my moment. That is like, oh, yes, Hamill is killing it. I mean, of course, we were all looking forward to seeing Hamill again, like after all his voice work on the Joker and everything, like he's turned into quite a consummate performer. But
and of course, the big tease with Force Awakens that, hey, there's Luke, there's Mark Hamill, top billing, and doesn't say anything.
What really
He's
sells
there.
it, what I think also sells it is Ray's reaction afterwards after he says that.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought
I'm sorry.
I just saying I thought you guys were going to show it. Oh,
Of course, this is the great epic flashback we had teased in Ray's vision in Force Awakens, which right here looks. I want to say that fire that breaks out is going to be the first, if not the first order, then most definitely the Knights of Ren. Whoever, because I thought Phasma was in like that first tease we got of Last Jedi. So whoever shows up to get Kylo Ren, basically Kylo Ren, things go south with Kylo Ren, hence the whole reaching his hand out of the breeze, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
The point is Kylo Ren at some point he contacts, or either Snoke senses the power that he exhibits, and he sends his men down there with the Knights of Ren, whoever, and of course that's Luke basically that's like Luke's moment of failure in that scene we're seeing where he and R2 are climbing out of the rubble and they're saying, "Look at what I've unleashed." That sort of moment, man.
and the thing I got from this is like maybe if like Luke continues to refuse Ray to teach Ray, it's like leads her down a darker path.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good call. Ooh, I like it.
And it's interesting.
It's like his hesitance leads her down the darker path inadvertently.
To piggyback off that, in a way, Luke, like we see, the way we're portraying Luke, it would seem, is that we're kind of taking him, starting him down. We're selling him as Yoda initially. Basically, he's the Yoda, like he is like we're in like a Dagobah-esque look. It's much more kind of lush Dagobah.
Right.
Basically, Luke is kind of sold as Yoda. Both of his he's basically encapsulating both of his masters. He's Yoda essentially, but basically it's Yoda who goes the path of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, of course, kind of the man who trained the downfall of the Jedi. Basically, Obi-Wan having a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. He goes into hiding, but he keeps an eye on Luke on Tatooine. So I think that's kind of where we're going with Luke. We're selling him initially. We're all expecting to be kind of like the Yoda master, but he's going to turn to like kind of the ashamed hermit who's really disillusioned after what happened with Kylo Ren, which is, as feeding what Jacob's saying, is what's going to drive that shame, that failure, that kind of the doubt is going to lead Kylo Ren down that path. I mean, sorry, lead her down the path. Sorry.
I was about to say Kylo Ren, I think, is already down that path.
Yes.
I mean, the thing that really sold it for me is like spoiler, the final shot of this trailer. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that kind of led me to think that. Oh, and also also on the very right hand side, like those cloud formations kind of look like an angry face.
Just going back to it, I'm sorry, guys. One more time. Let's just bask in how freaking scared shitless Mark Hamill looks in this shot. Just, God, my God, that man's eyes. That man's eyes.
In all his bearded glory.
All right, so Jacob, you were talking about the Ray's reaction to it.
Yeah, well, we were just on that. Yeah.
Okay, so
like I said, it was that and the final scene that led me to believe that like maybe it does lead her. I mean, I could be way off base, and maybe she won't go down the darker path, but it's kind of or maybe like that leads down a grayer path.
For sure.
Now this is cool here because this is a
big face reveal with the scar.
Yeah, but right here though, that shot. Hold that shot. What's so great about that is it kind of explains why we saw the shattered helmet in the other trailers.
And I also like how Kylo Ren is still smashing the shit out of stuff.
Yep, and it's cool. We see Kylo is most likely frustrated with Snoke's doubts in him. With the opening of the trailer, most likely, which of course leads to this helmet smash.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do you guys think of the weird scar bandage that Kylo has?
Oh, by the end it's going to be kind of a light scar. But then again, that other trailer we saw him with the intense yellow eyes and stuff. So it's unclear what we're doing with
right.
And this is where
I'm thinking it might be some kind of bandage, like some kind of like high-tech bandage.
It could be sure. It could be like some kind of Dark Order. First Order medical technology.
Yeah, right. Something like
cool.
that.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
So of course we got to adjust. So we get the line here. So we get the line up.
Like basically, fast healing bandage that kind of like replaces your skin almost.
Ooh, I like that. That makes sense. Ooh, that's cool.
I mean, it kind of looks like it's like replacing his skin. I mean, I don't know how true
you're
that
right,
is.
You're right. I can see that. It's
I mean,
almost like a scab, right? Like it maybe like scabs a scar.
Maybe I'm just trying to think high sci-fi here.
Basically, creates kind of an artificial plastic of the skin, it's like an artificial skin graft essentially.
I like that. I really like that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So we have the great line here. Get the past. What was it? The past dies.
He basically wants to kill the past, and that's how he becomes that's how you become what you want or what you are destined to be.
But the telling line though is let the past. It's let the past die. Kill it if you have to. That's what he's saying here. Of course, this scene exemplifies that he has to make a choice. Kill it if you have to. Does he have to?
And this is my one complaint about this trailer is that I really hope this is a misdirection and this isn't actually what's going on in this moment, because if it is, it's kind of a big spoiler, I think.
Well, they're definitely. A part of me thinks it's just them playing on the Carrie Fisher thing to get butts in the seats.
Right, for sure. And that's what I hope it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's only two outcomes to this. If this is actually exactly how it goes in the movie, it's kind of a big moment.
I did kind of call this in Force when we were speculating the days of Force, what the next movie was going to be. That Kyle was going to be put in a position where he'd have to choose to kill Leia or not.
Is that the Falcon he's chasing?
Let's see.
I don't think so.
No, that's not the Falcon.
Yeah, it's not.
The Falcon has blue lights.
Yeah, you're right. It just kind of it looked like kind of like this, like a similar shape to the Falcon.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. No, it's not the Falcon though.
Yeah, the Falcon's blue. The Falcon's taillights are blue. Not taillights, thrusters are blue.
Yeah, but seriously, this is such a great moment seeing kind of the Kylo basically making that big life choice. And again, it's we don't know what he's going to do. I think they played it. I think they played it just right there. I mean, it looks like the way it's framed here looks like he's not going to shoot, but at the same time, I think they might be one of those bait and switches where they think, oh yeah, of course we're not gonna. You wouldn't expect us, to push the button, but maybe
they have to kill off Leia somehow. I mean, they have to write her out.
Yeah,
this could be a reshoot moment.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of facial performance, just look at her here. It's you can just see the pain in her face. It's the pain yet acceptance in her face.
Right.
It's just my son. It's my son's is he going to kill me or isn't he? Either way, I failed as a mother.
Part of me thinks it might be he's contemplating pushing the button, he doesn't, and there's a sigh of relief, and he pushes it.
Oh God! Oh man!
Right?
I mean, that would be kind of similar to the Han death, where it's help me, Father, anything, and you know what I mean, and then bam, dead.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
That would make people hate Kylo so much.
I know.
He's not only killed one beloved icon, he has now killed the other.
That's just hope he doesn't kill Chewie.
Well, no, here's the thing. The next movie would be Chewie would kill Kylo. That's how they'd end it.
Oh, hell yes. Oh,
the third movie, Chewbacca would kill Kylo Ren for killing the other.
Of course, I'm still used to Chewbacca dying before Han in the books in the expanded universe. I'm still kind of trying to get past that canon. Because Chewbacca had a really awesome death in the expanded universe, seriously. Anyways.
Big moment.
It's Christmas.
Okay, oh God, look at that setting.
Yes.
It really does look like the red Kyber crystals.
Yeah, I'm sold on that theory, honestly.
That definitely is the Falcon they're chasing there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There you go. That's kind of has a unified. It's not broken up to you. That's how you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Most likely piloted by Rey and Chewbacca.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
because they took the Falcon there, so absolutely yes, that's right.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I am pretty much convinced these are Kyber crystals.
I mean, considering
I think a lot of this movie is going to be, going to be kind of like Luke showing Rey, kind of the, the history of the Jedi, and the Kyber Crystal Planet might be part of that.
I'll tell you what I'm dying to see. Tiki, it's a great idea, and I love that. I would love to see that come true. I just love the idea of this history ingrained in this island. I can't wait to see. I love there's one shot in this thing coming up where we're going to see like a little visual thing exploring this island. I want to see all the other surprises, which I would love if the Kyber crystals kind of, there's like a mine of Kyber crystals in there possibly. That'd be cool.
Mm. All right, what do we think of the porgs?
Yes, porkins. No, it's not porkins. It's just porgs. But
Apparently, according to Ryan Johnson, the small ones are called porglets.
oh
God, that's even more marketable.
I think with porglets, I think it's worst case scenario, they're going to be an unpopular BB-8, which would be kind of a diet R2D2. But we like diet R2D2. But we're not. Well, I worry it's going to be a diet of a diet with the porgs. I worry, but I have no reason to say
I really like them because I like the design. I like the character design. I have no idea how they're going to be used in the actual movie.
Yeah. Well, people remember people were worried about BB-8 like being the main, and stealing the show and all that. Though he didn't actually wasn't in that much, so it might be the same thing with these things.
Sure.
I have no reason to think it won't work, but my fear is that it's going to be pulling the same trick we did with BB-8. It's going to say, we have to do one of these each movie.
You see, I don't necessarily see the connection between the porgs and BB-8 besides they're cute. Like,
we don't even know what they do.
I was saying, kind of like cute little sidekick during the action Millennium Falcon. Like, hey, there's BB-8. He's clinging the stuff so he's not jostling around. He's all heavy.
I don't know, Dragon. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we have no real context for their role in the movie. Like, if I were to guess, they might be like an endangered species on Statling or something like that, and like Rey and Chewbacca are trying to get them off the island or something. I don't know. That's my best guess, but that's just a loose theory.
From what I heard, they're like very force sensitive creatures native to Octo.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Is that what we're calling Skelling? Is Octo?
Yes.
That's the name of it.
It's going to take me a while to not call it Skelling, but
Skelling Michael's the name of it in the real world. Octo is the planet Luke Skywalker's on.
Oh,
right.
I said, I could be wrong in the whole force sensitive creatures thing, but that's what I've heard.
That'd be cool if they were force sensitive.
And it would explain why they're on the Millennium Falcon.
Well, I'm best case scenario. I don't want them to fail or anything. I'm saying, I'm hoping they're going to turn out good.
Sure.
They're cute. They're just so freaking cute.
Yeah.
So we see very little Poe in this trailer.
Oh.
We barely even see any Finn in this either.
No, we got some good
Finn does have one big moment.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like Poe's line though. It's like the spark that will lead to the fire that will bring the First Order down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a bunch of great one-liners in this trailer. That's the thing.
There's a comic I'm going to get my hands on at some point where basically they're showing what happened since Phasma got out of the. They show her getting out of the garbage disposal, and they show her getting out of the garbage chute. Onto basically what happens. Basically, it's like the road from Force Awakens to Last Jedi. It's kind of like the adventure of.
I've actually heard that one's really good.
I read the first issue. The first issue was good. I got to keep reading that. So.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, once again, just the space battles look spectacular as always. That's not.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to. I kind of hope they're going in the direction of with kind of the separate stories. I kind of hope Poe and Finn. I mean, they could just make them completely separate, but the way I hope it's going to go is that we have Rey stuff going on. We also have Finn and Poe kind of going on an adventure together.
Well,
which would
we also have a new character named Rose, who apparently Finn's going to be partnered with through the majority of the movie. And
character.
Yeah. And from what I've heard, and this might be a spoiler, but from what I've heard, Rose and Finn go undercover in the First Order.
I mean, that would explain why Finn's in the dark uniform.
Exactly.
It would be kind of fun to put him back in that position, but he's now, of course, putting him in the familiar territory, which he'd be really good at going undercover. So I mean, yeah, it's that's cool. I was just kind of hoping for like kind of some Poe Finn action, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, sure, we'll get some Poe and Finn.
Yeah, because those guys were buddies.
I mean, they have such an established bromance.
Of course.
And this is just freaking cool. I loved Finn and Force Awakens.
Captain Phasma's just like, I finally get to do something.
Of course, these two have history though. And that's so great that
I know boss. And I just noticed that, and I didn't just, but I noticed when I first watched it. That's the thing that
Traitor guy.
That one guy used against it in his fight against Finn in the episode 7.
He's using Traitor guy's weapon.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like in the background, like this whole ship is like exploding or something. You know what I mean? It looks like it's like there's a lot of destruction going on behind them.
We really need that Donald Gleason character saying, "This is why we can't have nice things. Every ship's blowing up around here." What?
Right.
The First Order needs an insurance policy or something. God. But he'd shout it because that's kind of what he does. He shouts things intimidatingly.
But Dragon, first things first, handrails.
Right.
Yes, rails first and foremost. Rails. Someone called the Imperial Union, or the First Order Union, whatever the shorthand is. BB-8. Okay, now this. So that shot.
I mean, in all honesty, I probably think I like the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jacob.
About those crystalline wolves, I actually think I kind of like them more than the porgs in a way.
They're cool, but they're kind of random. I mean, I have no idea. Again, it's a trailer, so it's cryptic. So I'm not expecting to know a lot about them, but I'm just saying it's like they kind of come out of left field.
I mean, like design-wise, and even like just the mystery-wise, I kind of like them more than I like the porgs. I mean, I love the porgs, but I just love, mainly from a purely design standpoint, I just like those crystalline wolves. I mean, and I'm using crystalline because that's how Rian Johnson described them.
Okay. So, Dre, you were saying about the shot.
Oh, this is great, and we get this. We kind of see what leads to this in an upcoming show. Basically, I want to say I'm just inferring what happens here because basically we see Luke, he's all white and he's in this cave, which again suggests we're going to explore the island in a cool way. And the idea is Rey.
This might be Dagobah.
Well, I don't know. The Dagobah, was more kind of cloudy and swampy. It's just like this rock on. I think it's like you dive in like a pocket of water and then you end up on like a cave deep within. That's what it looks like to me. Kind of like the Cronus caves from The Incredibles. Remember that? Yeah. Literally like that.
The only reason why I think it might be Dagobah is because the setup feels like she's going into the Dagobah cave. Like, that's the thing. I think that Luke is going to take her to the cave.
All right. I really don't think we're going to Dagobah, but I mean, it'd be could if we did. So I'm not saying it'd be bad at all. Just that I don't expect it.
Also, can I just say I'm kind of heartbroken that Billy D. Williams isn't in this movie.
Wait, are you sure he's not going to be in this movie?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Well, that's a shame. Maybe they're saving for the next one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it just seems like he showed up in Empire, so.
Again, they're going to run out of old favorites if they put them all in the first movie.
Yeah.
In this case, the second movie. Again, they save some guys for the next one.
I mean, if anything else, like he might have a cameo or something. I just know that he wasn't like on set very much, if anything else. So he doesn't. If anything, he doesn't have more than like a scene or two.
They could just be keeping it under wraps. Maybe he is there.
That could be, but I mean, I really don't. I really think if he had a major role in the movie, we would have heard about it.
I was saying like a cameo. It was like a small role, like him saying, "Oh, there's my favorite ship."
Right.
But seriously, this is a.
We didn't see Han's funeral in Force Awakens, right?
No, we didn't. That's what I'm saying.
We could see him at Han's funeral.
I'd expect that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So Luke is warning Rey. So we know he's talking to Rey in this thing because she washes up. Basically, the idea I want to say that he was trying to get away from her or something, or like a training exercise. Basically, she was tracked. She followed him. So she followed him somehow. Diving in after him. And Luke is warning, "This won't go the way you think it. This won't go the way you think it will."
Mm-hmm.
And again, it seems to be like in the midst of a heated conversation between the two.
Sure. Okay. Jacob, the only thing I like the design of these guys, but I think the Porgs look more practical. Does that make sense? Like,
They
the
do.
Porgs look like they could be animatronics in certain shots, but
Some of
these
them
guys
are.
look more CG.
I really don't see the negative to that.
Well, I mean, the negative is, like, I always prefer practical-looking stuff to CG stuff. I mean, that's just my personal taste, but... I don't know, I just like how the Porgs look like you could, like, reach out and touch them. I don't know. Anyways.
And like I said, mainly from a design aspect, I like these things.
Sure, for sure. I mean, I would agree they have a better design. I just think the Porg effect looks better for me. But of course, this is, you know, like they could look, you know, the effect could be refined by the time we see the actual movie. Okay.
Leia in her kind of her winter color.
And one of the things we noticed about the teaser trailer for this is just the scale of the shots. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It does look like she's like diving. I'm sorry, guys. I still think this could be Dagobah. I just really want Luke to take her to Dagobah. That's just a fan theory. That's like the more and more I think about it, I'm like, it'd be so cool if he took her into the cave. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you guys a logistical question here.
I mean, if you want, I mean, if Ryan Johnson wants to dispel the constant people accusing him of remaking Episode 5, I don't think he'd take them to Dagobah.
That's a very good point.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chewbacca, the end of Force Awakens, didn't Chewbacca take her to, the scaling to, what's it called?
Octo.
Docto.
Yes.
And presumably Chewbacca's, again, because Chewbacca didn't really walk out with him. He was on the ship, so it's a question if, like, did he drop him off or is he going to be there? Because otherwise, how are they getting the Dagobah if they don't have a ship?
I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. And the only reason I say that is because of the shot with him and the Porg.
A Wookiee hug would be nice.
Like, it wouldn't really make sense if he, I mean, unless he, like, circles back for her and they bring the Porg then. I mean, I don't know.
I just want to see at least an image of a Porg standing on Chewbacca's shoulder.
That would be adorable.
Like Baby Groot style.
Yeah, that would be great.
I tell you what I'd love to see, though, just because we had an Empire, it'd be great to have it here, just, because we had that really sweet kind of Chewbacca hugging Luke goodbye, and we have him, like, hugging Luke after all these years. It's kind of like,
oh yeah, I definitely
and maybe he can finally hug Leia.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's like in Wookiee.
Hug.
It's not like your son killed my best friend or anything. Like your evil son killed my best friend or anything, It's just, like, Wookiees need hugs too, Leia.
Oh, poor Chewbacca. He's just always getting snubbed.
They don't give me the medal. I do all that hard work. I have to lug C-3PO all around, and Empire's shaking my back. I think he's in no way grateful. It's just, he kills my best buddy in the whole world. I can't even get a freaking hug.
Hashtag hugs for Wookiees.
Yeah.
Oh wow, hold on. I love the look of Luke here, just in the fog and everything. Anyways,
it's like makes him look kind of menacing in a way.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. I think Luke is going to be slightly crazy and unhinged in this.
Oh, certainly. Again,
because why wouldn't he be? Isolated.
I mean, think about it. Years of isolation's probably done a number on him.
Exactly.
I mean, he didn't have the years of training that Yoda did.
And of course, we all know how well Mark Hamill plays crazy.
Oh God.
I mean, to add fuel to that fire, Tiki, like he didn't exactly have the years of mental training that Yoda did to prepare for that kind of isolation.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just expecting an unhinged Obi-Wan, really. That's kind of what I'm expecting with Luke.
Mm. I mean, sure. I mean, Yoda played up the whole crazy hermit thing, but that was all an act, basically.
Sure.
I mean, so it might have actually come true with Luke.
We'll see. Yeah, basically, I'm expecting him to kind of be like the crazy homeless guy version of Obi-Wan.
You mean Luke Skywalker?
God.
It'd be kind of cool. I don't know if we get it unless we did like sort of a Dagobah thing, I guess. But I mean, because nightmares are really something we've hinted at, with the Anakin Skywalker premonitions. I mean, it's the closest we've really gotten to it. But how great would it be if we had sort of like Luke having a premonition or a dream or something. Yeah, Luke having a premonition be a big deal because we kind of had that with Empire. So, you know, be kind of
Right.
regardless. Luke having a nightmare or a vision or something, because, you know, Luke, right, a vision too, of you know, becoming his father, you know, with the robot hand for a moment. That'd be a way of getting Darth Vader in there for a quick spell. You know, he wakes up like, oh god, fearing that, you know, he is kind of created, you know.
Like, oh, there he is for a second.
No, it's just like maybe. Oh my God! What if we recreated the whole? You know, Luke. You know, we cut the Vader helmet open and we see. You know, it's Luke, and in this case, we did something like where he kind of a POV shot where, you know, he looks and he's doing the Darth Vader wheeze.
Right.
I don't know. It's like some intimation of Vader, like the fear that, you know, he's, you know, becoming his father. That, you know, he's just, you know, he's created a whole, basically a generation of Vaders when, you know, this whole arc was, you know, redeeming his father. Instead, he's perpetuated the symbol of his father, the symbol of his father's failure. He's become a failure like his father with the Force.
I like that. All right.
Yes, a lot of standing.
Oh God. So okay,
that
we
red
saw this
dust.
before, but now one of the things is, like, I feel like this is obviously going to be like this movie's Battle of Hoth, but I like how we get the red chemtrails and everything to, like, visually distinct itself from Hoth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that actually supposed to be ice, or is it like a rock?
No, I don't think it is ice. I think it's sand. That's my guess.
I mean, because it looks like this. I mean, because it almost looks like the same planet that Leia was on in the scene where she was like in that giant coat.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It has the same rock formations. You know, they had white on the rock. At the very least, the crystal wolf, the crystal lion thing, whatever it is. That's where they had that background. So it's on the same place that the crystal lion thing is.
And it looks like the same mount formation where the AT-ATs were in the beginning.
Well, yeah, I think this is the same battle. Yeah.
I can't wait to see him climb.
Oh, okay. This is Andy Reef freaked out when he saw this.
So one, this is a great obscuring shot for Snoke. You know, it's greatly obscure. But at the same time, we have a lot more detail because, you know, back then they had the hologram thing, so they figured, you know, we don't really have Snoke figured out too much right now. We kind of, yeah, we'll show him, but, you know, we have hologram kind of cover for if we want to alter and make him look even cooler with the effects that are going to come in the following years. And here we go. Oh my God, look how up close all the wrinkles and how you know, evil
and this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to practical versus CGI.
This is CGI.
It is.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's Andy Serkis, Tiki.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Remember Snoke, Andy Serkis. He's doing the motion capture thing.
I mean, Rian Johnson openly confirmed this. I mean, Snoke will be entirely in CGI.
Only difference is, and we still don't know how big he's going to be, because some people think he might be like 7 feet tall. Regardless, it's kind of hard to tell in this shot. But, you know, he's... The point is, it's going to be, you know, kind of a...
I'm sorry, for some reason, I thought I heard that Snoke was going to be physical in this movie. He was going to be a puppet.
I mean, on set, they, like, filmed with a puppet and everything. But,
oh, okay. That's what I heard. Okay, yeah, you're right.
But for the final film, they will be using...
Gotcha.
Andy Serkis motion capture.
Now, Snoke's
well,
saying...
I've got to say, guys, this shot is so impressive that I literally thought it was practical, and so did Mew. So,
yes,
this is
Snoke saying, you know, fulfill your destiny, possibly to Rey.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, now this is important. If you freeze frame here, you're going to know. Right there, hold!
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
If I'm not mistaken.
It's
kind of, it's hard. Okay.
Damn it. Sorry.
That was a prudent never had this much trouble. All right. Oh my God, let's go back a little. Writhing and agony.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It was going so smoothly. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Now, if I don't miss my guess, you'll see it's obscured, so it's hard to tell. But what it looks identical to is that this is Snoke doing this to her, because you'll notice in the background that little that yellow in the fuzzy yellow in the back, that should be his robes. That should be him standing.
I definitely think that's Snoke.
It's just cool that he's, oh my God, what he's doing to her here.
I do remember seeing yellow in his concept.
Yes. Well, I mean, we saw in the robes there he was wearing yellow a little bit yellow on the sleeve.
It's honestly surprising that he'd wear yellow.
Well, I think it's like a ceremonial thing. He's upgrading. Before, I think he might have been wearing all black. It's hard to tell with the holograms.
I mean, it definitely gives him a distinct look. I think that's probably the reason why he's in, like, just from a, just from a visual filmmaking point of view. You know,
you don't want to make him like the Emperor again.
I mean, I'm not denying that. I mean, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying it definitely. I mean, definitely doesn't evoke dark leader status, but that kind of makes it more.
You know what? I think it kind of evokes like ancient cult leader status, though, and which is kind of the look they're going for. I don't know.
It's kind of what's been implied. Like he said, like he's been around for a long time.
Like I have a feeling the yellow is definitely going to tie into like the like the culture of Snoke. I don't know. Yeah. Like you have to remember, we still don't really know a lot about the First Order. Like we don't know what differentiates them from the Empire. You know what I mean? Like
other than the fact they were built from the remnants.
Right, exactly. So, all right.
He's definitely trying to get
one last shot.
And Ray's one-liner in this. I need you to help me find my place in all this.
Who wants to bet this is two scenes edited together? Because that's honestly the first impression I got when I saw it. I think there's something in the fake out.
I think there's something in the middle, but I think it's the same scene. I think there's obviously stuff we're not seeing in this.
Okay.
Scene. But I don't know. It's the same.
I don't know. Like, let's see the.
Go back to Ray. Okay, let her play.
Okay, when Ray is in the background, like there's not much of a background, but when Kylo, like you see the ambers fall in, you know what I mean? Like that's not in the Ray thing.
I don't know, the light, but still the light source though kind of suggests the same environment. And the extended hand. I don't know. I think it's the same. I think she's like on the side where the debris is not falling.
Could be.
I mean, for all we know, this could be like either the middle or the end of the movie, even.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I think this moment, it definitely should take place towards the end. I don't know.
And of course, Kylo offered her this, to help her in the Force Awakens. Obviously, she didn't take it, and now she goes to someone who famously could help her, who was most likely turned her down all throughout the movie or disappointed her. So now she's going to Kylo, establishing the offer again. Like, hey, I'm going to take you up on it. Let's do this, man.
Or maybe it's after Kylo's gone through some development himself.
Sure.
I will say this actually kind of bothers me even more than the Leia thing does in terms of spoilers.
Yeah, I'll admit you're right about that. This is too much. It's
like if it would have just cut off at hold on. Damn it! I'm having a hard time finding that shot again.
What are you looking for?
If it would have cut off there, you know what I mean? That would have been a perfect place to end it.
Sure.
Like, we don't need this extra 30 seconds. I kind of regret even seeing this extra 30 seconds.
It's kind of like the Justice League thing of, the whole, basically intimating, hey, who's Alfred talking to?
Right.
I'll give you 2 guesses. But, my theory is based on that scene, though. Do you mind if I go into it, or do you want to risk spoilers?
No, go ahead.
Honestly, I'm back in the theory, and it seems to be such an interesting theory. Again, it's like it's new territory and be kind of feeding into what this trilogy could be about. But again, time will tell. I think it's that these two are going to create kind of a gray, kind of a new gray area between the light and the dark side. Basically, they're going to the big world changing theory that people have been throwing around for this movie. I'm all board for if they can pull it off. And this scene kind of intimates that these two are saying, hey, screw the light side and the dark side. We're going to get rid of the labels light side and dark side, just kind of like team up. Everyone wants, has these destinies for us. You and I are just going to do our own thing.
Jesus, if Rey teamed up with Kylo by the end of the movie and Kylo abandoned Snoke, oh God, that'd be a super interesting direction to go for.
But still, how mind-blowing would it be that for episode 9 we've kind of cast away the sides that we've established with Star Wars for God knows how many, for many movies, including the anthology stuff. Just for all these movies we've established very simply, okay, there's light side, there's dark side, there's Empire, there's Rebellion. These guys are saying, they're putting Kylo through the ringer. I've had to kill both my parents, and they're not moving me up the ladder, and I'm going to Luke Skywalker. He's not helping me.
It's kind of like the two people in lower management, like starting their own company.
And it would be kind of a great reflective thing of just it'd be a great kind of. It'd be holding a mirror up to the old, the great destiny story. Like, hey, we have a great destiny to fulfill. You and I, we're supposed to, we're destined to be the good guy. We're destined to be the bad guy. I'm tired of jumping through hoops for these guys. Let's just let's not fill into these sides. Let's just embrace our own destinies without just fitting into. We don't have to have a mentor. We're just each other's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of does tie into the whole Last Jedi thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it totally does. You're right.
In terms of what Snoke wants, what the big deal is for it, because of course I have no inkling about the parents thing. Obviously, we shouldn't spoil it, even if we do have an inkling. But again, the parents thing is just still like where the heck did Rey come from? But I do think, I think Snoke. The reason Rey is the big deal, the reason we have that line, whole "what girl," the reason that Rey's been so built up and she is known on the First Order side, at least on Kylo and Snoke's side, and I think the reason Snoke's kind of jostling her in that way is kind of she's writhing in pain, most likely caused by Snoke. Says she has a power source that he wants to harness. Whether she's joining his side or not, I think she has a power, basically a power that can match the untapped potential of Kylo Ren that he needs to kind of like turn the tides, I guess, to kind of conquer the galaxy. Just he wants the power that those two have. So whether he respects Kylo or trains Kylo, he needs the power that these two have. And in terms of the parentage, actually, I have no basis for this, but it's just a guess. You want me just gonna throw out a guess?
Sure, but I'm just gonna say I don't really care about her parentage. I kind of hope it's not a big reveal because I just think there's like an overabundance of parentage reveals in Star Wars. But go ahead.
So, of course, we have the thing about it. We have the son of Leia, of course, who is descended from Jedis, and we have with Ben Kenobi. And imagine this: we have with Ben Kylo Ren, named after Ben Kenobi. And quite possibly, I'm thinking there's a chance Rey could be Kenobi's granddaughter.
That's a popular theory. That's definitely a popular theory.
That's the only room. I'm just throwing. Tiki, I'm with you there. Like I don't care if it's something else. I'm just saying.
Honestly, like I said, I hope it's just like I hope her parentage means literally nothing.
Yeah.
Just because there's it's kind of like the galaxy gets smaller every time a character is connected to another character by blood. You know what I mean?
Like the only thing I'm saying, if it is anything, like if it's supposed to be one of those, that's the only logical one I can think of because it would make Luke and Han and Leia look like terrible parents if it was revealed that she was like one of their daughters because just completely cast her aside, just like
right.
Exactly. It's like the only win scenario in that if she is connected to someone would be maybe she's like Kenobi's granddaughter. It's not really no the tread there. It's kind of a cool thing about Ben, someone named after Ben Kenobi, having a link to someone who actually is the son of Ben Kenobi, with Kylo and Rey. It's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, just she's she's the character. She's unrelated animal. She's just therapy. She has parental issues. Been abandoned on a planet. That's still interesting.
Spielberg perked up. Spielberg's like, "Oh, did someone say parental issues?"
Do you still need a director for episode 9? No, we got JJ for okay.
I actually think they'd love to get Spielberg for episode 9. He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Again, the irony is he was going to direct episode 6 back in the day, and is so close to it.
Right.
He actually ghost directed some of episode 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
He directed a few scenes.
I had no idea.
I would not be surprised at all if he directed the opera scene, which is by far the best scene in episode 3.
Oh my god, you're right, yeah! do we know what scenes he directed, Jacob? Do we know?
No, I don't think it's ever revealed. It's just he was a ghost director. He's not even credited in the credit. He's not even credited or anything. He's just he did very minor work on episode 3.
Do you think it's kept a secret for a reason? Do you think he's just trying not to be known for it?
Well, yes, because like I said, I just think Spielberg, it's obviously his close friendship with Lucas, that's kind of why he doesn't want to touch Star Wars, I think. But,
sure. Okay.
All right, any other final thoughts, guys?
Do you think the logo will be red in the movie as well? Or do you think it will remain yellow?
I'd be impressed if it was red.
I would be impressed too. I mean, that's an interesting theory.
I think about it. If the color of the movie is red with the kyber crystals, wherever those crystals are, the red would make a lot of sense. And yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly anything major. It's just it was just a thought that crossed my mind. Up until now,
only in Star Wars can we speculate about the color of font and have it be actually relevant.
But here's the real question. Episode 9. What color are you guys pulling for? Are you pulling for blue or for green?
Or purple?
Well, that's
What if the whole title roll was red?
Okay, that's too far. That's too far.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, up until now, like, even the marketing for every other film, the Star Wars logo has been yellow. This is like the first one.
Are you sure about that, Jacob?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, from what I can see, like, every logo has been yellow so far, even in marketing. I mean, I could be entirely wrong on that.
Because I'm pretty sure Return of the Jedi, like, I'm saying, like, every official logo, yes, has been yellow, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been like marketing stuff with different colored logos. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I mean, I could be entirely wrong on that. I'm just saying that I've personally seen.
Sure.
That'd be the most ridiculous headline ever for like episode 9. It'd be like, hey, for like controversies around episode 9, is that hey, they changed the font to orange. Orange, like, oh god, it doesn't fit Star Wars all, but you know, you got the X-wing pilots. Oh, screw that, they're changing it to orange. Well, the first one was yellow. Orange.
We need to create a petition.
Oh god. I just gotta say,
are you trying to cripple us, Orange?
After a week on vacation, it's good to be back doing the podcast. I forgot how fun this all was. All right, guys. I think that's about it because we're just kind of like talking about the font color at this point. So, all right. Thanks for joining us. I hope to God this is the last trailer. I really do. Like, if a third trailer comes out, I might not even watch it just because I feel like I know a little too much just based on this one. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in December. Porgs!